Recap: Aaron attempts to convince her to let go of her anger. Veena eventually realizes and begins to dissipate. Chapter 6: Death Retainers and Shooting Stars. As they found their way back to the car and sat inside, Aaron couldn't help but reflect on the events of the night. His eyes fixed on the photo of his mother that sat on the dashboard. "I think we learned that mothers are truly incredible beings," he said, his voice laced with emotion. "Even after death, their love and guidance can still reach us through memories and spirit." Helena, still frightened with the activities of the night, nodded. "We definitely learned something tonight," she said. Aaron noticed she needed some distraction from the horrors of the night, so he lightened the mood with small talks. "I think we also learned that shortcuts are bad." Helena smiled. "Well, maybe not all that bad if you want to get some coffee and talk about it," she flirted, a hint of hope and a voice that their harrowing experience had the potential to grow into something more. "You were quite incredible the way you handled all that." She appreciated him. Aaron hesitated for a moment before responding. "I had your help. Couldn't have done it without you," he reassured her. As Aaron clutched the gear and started the engines, they were relieved to see their car engines were working again, and that they can finally drive themselves out of the forest. Helena whiffed out a breath and asked him, "Hey, earlier, you were making gestures with your fingers. What were those? And how did you know all that?" Aaron said, "Those were hand mudras, hand gestures used for channeling spiritual energy. My mom was a member of a mystic group called the Death Retainers. They were responsible for guiding spirits and taking care of the affairs of the deceased. She taught me about them before she passed away." "I'm sorry for your loss," Helena said. "I've never heard of the Death Retainers before. It sounds like a very important and meaningful role to have." "They prefer to keep a low profile," Aaron replied. "I never imagined I would want to follow in my mom's footsteps, but maybe I'll consider it now." Helena couldn't help but feel a mix of intrigue and concern at the mention of the heritage of Death Retainers. "Well, I think you'll be great at it. I don't know about you, but I could really use a coffee after all that," she said, her voice laced with uncertainty. "Do you want to?" He paused. He stammered again. "Do you want to update the cab drop-off point to different locations?" he asked with uncertainty. She chewed on her lips, cleared her throat, and said, "I think I make better coffee at my place. If you want to come over, I think I might still get my cab discount." She flirted a smile at him. Aaron looked deeply at her. She had found some kind of comfort with him. He grinned and steered the car out of the forest while saying, "Well, when you put it that way, then I guess I feel glad I took this shortcut." He smiled a flirt back. And as the night ended, he drove towards her apartment, looking forward to the sunrise together. And as the starry sky glittered, 2 shooting stars trailed across the sky like new spirits making their way to the next life. The end. Death Retainer by Soumyadipta Roy, also known as Artist Roy.